test, test, test. Now you should hear me. Damn, bruh. Struggling with OBS. First day back, and I'm struggling. You should hear me now. Let me know. Oh, yeah, I even hear myself. But great. All right, gold is in this again. Now I have to say everything. So we see here with gold, well, it's been building for a while. This trend line. This is one way you could look at it. I'm not just looking at trend lines neither. I was just looking at how it reacts around these trend lines. The latest one I was looking at though was here. This was the most accurate one I saw. On Thursday, we had a strong spike that took out these liquidities. And this zone right here was a very strong zone for any buys on gold. If we see and we expand this to the left side, we have struggles to break through here. Here we tapped it, we pushed back up, and then we had that crash. But here we see we keep getting those reactions. So this is a very important level in the market. And not just that with resistance and support, but if we look at price, the range of price we were in was anywhere above 5,000 to be honest. So if we were to take that opportunity, for example, this would have been how I fully take it. Stop loss below here because this is the last spike before we pushed higher. So this is the last structure that was built, and we're retracing that whole move. So we see here we pulled back into this gap and pushed from that Friday into the next week, and we've been pushing. But right now, gold is playing within that gap again. We see here we broke around 8:30 p.m. when Asian session started pouring in. We had a drop into the zone, at least 50% of it. And then we started going up to 5,400. Now we see this is just recent. This was a random drop again, coming back into the zone. Now, if we were to take this, let's say if we were to retake that tap again, stop loss should be below this. If we go back up, yeah, that'll be the best opportunity there. Just to take it back. See. But that's already running. So let me see something. Yeah, that's already done. Here on the US 30, um, the market is a little rough at the moment. This was my only zone to look for buys because this is the last low before we made these highs. This is just all consolidation. This is nothing. This is no structure right here. This is just pure consolidation manipulations. This was the last low that was made on January 26th before we made these all-time highs. So we're trying to see if this level is going to retest and respect it. I also have NASDAQ. This was a test to see if it was going to respect. We continue breaking on Friday, and last night we continue going even lower. And this was the most optimal opportunity for any buys at the moment. Let me erase some of this. Okay, let's keep this. Let's go on the 1 hour. this, I was just talking about taps in the market, so let's take that off. Safest exit. Going down. So here we see this area is 10:30, 10:45, 11. So that 10 a.m. candle closed very bullish that day. We had a trend line starting to build out. We had the second tap. Now I don't care about the trend line. I just care about what happened on that reaction. And we see here we had this gap at that 10. We did retrace a little bit, but we still had this left over from the gap. And this is a very great demand. Now again, I'm not just looking at the FEG, I'm looking at the whole structure of the market also. Here we had, within all this, we had a change in character. We see this strong bullish momentum starting to happen. Even though we fell, it does not mean the market is bearish now. And this is possibly an opportunity for us to leverage in on this. It is probably going to be a slow day. I'm looking at just market behavior to see how we react. But here on market session open, we did push very low. During the weekend, we had a pullback into the zone. I wish I would have took that, but I was hesitant. And we pushed lower. Last night, I did capitalize off of these moves. The opportunity I took was, let me see, because I definitely didn't get up there. Okay, when I started seeing these things get respected, the last one I took was this opportunity here. I had to put stop loss up here, and I just wish for the best. And we see that market started going down, but here market slowed down. We slowed down, and we had one last push a little lower into that demand zone, and then we started rejecting. And here we could see once market started pushing, we see a break of structure here and change in character. And our last opportunity was from this pocket of volume. That happened 4 a.m. So London session was already open. We had the last push. We have equal lows. But this is a very great demand zone. We pushed into it. And let's say opportunity was taken from the break of the equal lows, stop loss. And this is what we will be running right now. Now, at the moment, since the market already ran against us, I will wait and continue seeing how behavior goes for the day. In terms of Forex, the dollar has, we had positive data on Friday and Thursday. We had PPI be positive, and unemployment claims is not very big because it goes, it's released every week almost. So I wasn't really mindful of that. But the PPI data was positive, and we are seeing, even though we were in strong supply zone and we struggled to break through it, that positive data is attracting interest into the dollar. So we see this is the last tap, then we broke equals, but this is the last volume that showed, which is where we started capitalizing, and we broke. If we go on the 15-minute, after we broke here, the last, wait, the last zone that we would want to see is anything within this area. This is just heavy volume, and what this shows is that demand. This is where money was at. So we want to expect price to come back to these areas and project that we will get a reaction. So here we see that with that push, we did get a retracement, and here we didn't fully take it, but here we having a rejection so far. So this shows that there's demand for the dollar at the moment in this area right here. Now, in contrast to the interest rates, we were dropping for quite a while. I see that we reached a level of support. If we look at the whole structure, we can't even look at it on the date on the 4 hour. If we look at it from, well, yeah, this is a strong support. Here we had demand for interest rates to go higher. So we're seeing the rejection so far. So right now, it is a very good opportunity to start thinking on how we could buy the dollar. If we look at USD JPY, for example, this moved heavily. The last opportunity that I was able to see on here was in this area, I think. Let me see. It was on the 1 minute, and I just gave up because I wanted to sleep. Um, uh, Trying to see where it was from. Here. So if we see from this whole move here, the overall structure was starting from here all the way to here. But within all that, we start seeing, let me see. Yeah, this was you had to be quick with this one last night because the dollar's very strong at the moment. I only see all this for demand. We did get a retap, we didn't get lower. We consolidated within that area. And here, when I saw this break and rejection, I was trying to capitalize off of this. But it was more just speculating because I don't trade on the 1 minute. And I'm just trying to find a way to get more familiar with scalping trades and intraday, just so that I could be able to give more. But it's going good so far. I just have to continue remaining patient um, and focused on how to see these opportunities. I've never scalped, so I'm trying to get used to it. USD CAD, I'm not looking at it at all because um, the CAD news was positive and the USD. So right now we might just see consolidations within USD CAD. Euro USD is failed because the dollar is strong. Euro AUD has been dropping heavy. Euro JPY is getting good rejections off of this area here. This was the last push that we had. We've consolidated for 2 days, but today we're getting a nice rejection. GBP AUD. GBP is strong. So it's strong. It's hard to trade a strong currency against another strong currency. AUD was positive and GBP is positive at the moment. We have GBP JPY. I was hesitant on this, but good that I just analyzed it and didn't take action, more just seeing what happens. But that was a good rejection there. The US dollar against the GBP was also a fail because the dollar is strong. And yeah, that's all right now. What I would want to figure out is how we can capitalize on the next move on anything, something. Unless it's just gonna be a day of watching. But I am expecting that we can get something. I just want to see how we continue. Oh shoot, how we continue with the behaviors this morning. So let's start focusing. I'm gonna let 30-second run for a bit. Let's see. I'm gonna let this run for a bit. I'm just gonna forward test every move. And once something super clear shows, I'm gonna see how we could take action. But for now, I'm just looking at gold. You might have to put your volume up. Somebody said volume was low. This is not a trade. This is forward testing the market at the moment. Trying to see what we can do. The gold did drop heavy on this hour, so just being careful with that. Okay, that didn't respect, so we wait. Okay, there we're getting a strong rejection, so there is a nice demand at that area. We had deeper retracement to this. We're getting strong rejections. Now I am on the 15-second, so price will move quickly. Let's see. If we get another strong push and we start breaking this is good signs for markets start reversing. Sorry, let me look at this real quick. Wow, that's a nice jump. 400 points today. This one, 400 points also. That's good. I will be right back. I'm back. We have economic news for the dollar in about a minute and 40 seconds. Now, one thing I like about gold so far is gold, it trades a lot with psychological levels. So we've seen when we were at 5,000, we consolidated for a while to see if we were gonna stay above or below 5,000. Then when you see that we broke, we have 5,100 respect. Then we have 5,200 was trying to be broken, and eventually we broke. Then we get 5,300 now, and this is where we at right now. So we're trying to see, is 5,300 gonna respect, also playing with the structure, or are we gonna reject it and go higher? Go lower. So checking out data. We had positive dollar again. So anything like GBP USD will go down. Euro USD should be going down. We could expect more USD JPY buying pressure. Nasdaq 930 hour was very bullish, but we are still bearish on this structure. So this is why I have this red zone marked up. This is the gap that was made over the weekend, and we're retracing it. Staying here. Once this break, we can probably see a strong push a downside if it doesn't respect it. These trend lines have been dangerous recently, bro. Rejections, pushes. Yet buying pressure is slowly dying out here. We're not getting a strong rejection to the upside. More getting like a push into trend line and then sellings coming in a little bit. So far with this trend line that's going down, we have structure going here. And every structure is being respected. We have a sell-off here. We had the push. And in this consolidation, this is the last sell-off that happened. But we are within this range at the moment. Seeing what's going to happen. Are we going to respect this? That initially started pushing higher? Or are we going to continue respecting and possibly go lower? Wow. I was hesitant on this too. The thing is, with the war going on, I didn't know what to expect with the stock market. So even though I traded it last night with the sell-off and taking the initial buys, I was very hesitant because I don't know what to expect. But everything's looking very nice right now. Off of this whole swing, this is how market is moving so far. We're up, if it was from the original entry, 600 points. And NASDAQ up 400 points. Very nice. And it seems like we're gonna just be a bullish day on the market. But let's see when this is fully retraced, this gap from Sunday. Those are my markings. I forgot where I put it from. I think it was here. Okay, market starting to push up again. Broke the trend line. See if we have more momentum to the upside. Yeah, this is a very good rejection. I'm liking it. Look at the 1 minute. God. Strong 1 minute candle. Let's see how we continue rejecting. start forward testing this. See how we respect each time. Okay. Breaking. Injection. Gold is very nice at the moment. God. Behaviors are looking good. Sorry. Forgot to put this again. What was stop loss here? Strong push. Oh yeah. $15. 1 minute gap. There is a lot of demand for gold right now at 5,300. We're seeing the volume pushing right now. This is a very attractive zone for big money. And again, we did pull back into that gap. Now, even though this is a good area for buys, we saw that this random drop happened. So we're being careful because that random drop causes emotions. It pushes sellers to have buyers to have fear and sell their orders. So at the moment, if there was a continuation of any sell-offs, yeah, this if there was any opportunity for a sell-off, I would like that zone. A lot of volume started coming in. Here we had sells coming in, but this was just starting to break out of this consolidation. Then we came lower, and there we had the strong push. The top didn't start. Here's where we started. So we're just looking at how market continues behaving around these prices. We're at the trend line again, retapping. That's very good because now we have two confirmations in one location. Price, well, three. Price being at 5,300. This gap that happened from this initial push right here that broke the trend line, and now we're retapping the trend line. So we're seeing is a lot of volume attracted at these areas. Are we gonna get strong rejection? From here, we should see, if it goes up, we should see strong pushes because this is enough consolidation for these prices. We're not going to stay here forever. If this is the area that we want to get in, we should see market starting to push higher again. If fear is pushing, again, this zone is started. We came and we're still consolidating within that area. But I'm favoring the buys. There's a lot of attraction into the metals at the moment. Sweet tapping in it. Interesting. Sheesh. Strong sell. Another good rejection. Let's see how it reacts within this level where we had a lot of selling pressure out of nowhere just now. Man, what a slow day. I'm over here falling asleep. Yeah, there's a lot of consolidation on gold at the moment. Indecisions. Since we broke that, we'll just mark this out real quick. Showing good buying momentum now. The break of that trend line would attract us to take this out. Here we got the break. Retest one more time within this zone here. I want to see 5. Okay, now everything wants to pop up. Ugh. It's already happening. What's happening? This is that. Ooh. We'll end the stream in like 20 minutes. Gold is moving nice so far with every pocket of volume though. We originally started from here, retesting into agent session lows. Here we're getting another rejection. We pulled back into that demand. There's money here, 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 here. We started getting a rejection. We failed to respect this strong sell-off here, and we retapped it, pushed, broke trend line, and so far rejecting this latest buy that happened, and we're there. That's the whole scenario so far. At the last resort, the last resort is to break this and see if this is gonna reject. This is also Sunday open, or we're gonna push through it to come back into those highs. But we are in around 300 pips away. Strong rejections. Having selling pressure again. There's nothing clear on silver. That's all. Trump is speaking at 11 a.m. Eastern Time for Medal of Honor event. So once I get off of that, once I get off of the stream, I'm going to listen to that. Let me see how this dollar's been doing. Nice. These are all invalid. Dollar is just strong at the moment. Take that off. This was good. That was the last opportunity. Never came back. How? Sheesh. That's crazy. Seeing how gold is consolidating like this and we had that strong drop. Skeptic, but I am favoring gold buys overall. Just a lot of demand for gold, silver, and metals at the moment. I haven't looked at crypto today. How's that going? Wow. So with crypto is very difficult. Here on the weekly, we have the retaps of all-time highs from 2021. Here we consolidated for a while until we pushed to all-time highs. And we're back in that level. If we look on a monthly, we are leaving from so far. from this monthly order block that was made before we made that all-time high. And cryptos are looking very nice at the moment so far. Here also we see Ethereum. We have this order block that ended up pushing higher, coming back to these 2021 all-time high, 2021 highs, which is all-time highs also. Am I wrong? Yeah. Wow. But crypto's moving heavy today. And that was just recent. So let's take that off. We're really just in a consolidation. We have 7 minutes of this live stream left. If you want to stay up to date, I do have a Telegram channel. I'm gonna put the link. See. There we go. These two boxes that I have is that 15-minute gap that was made here that ended up pushing this whole range. Then this one is from this drop that happened previously that we put back into one more time that we pushed. These are two very important areas, and we're all above 5,300, which I like. But let's see how volume continues moving today. I don't like that previous hour though. From 9 o'clock Eastern time. We had consolidations up here from London session, and we had this random drop from 9 a.m. New York session. But again, we're overall bullish, and I like to see that retracement is what we needed for the next push. Simba. Yo. Yo. God, this guy, bro. No. You wanna lay down? Bro knows he can't look at it from here. Get up. Mira. Bájate. Go. I don't know why you went through there. Alright, it's 11, everyone. I'm gonna get off for now. We did have a strong push to the downside. And maybe we're just gonna retrace a little more from this gap. We're gonna be watching it. Let's see, let's see. Well, have a good day, everyone. Be careful with the rest of the market. It's very bearish at the moment. Strong selling pressures, but we're overall bullish. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next session.